Okay, y'all, we are officially live on the City of Fremont's YouTube channel, waiting for council to start.
I'm going to wait just a few minutes for Justin Smith to arrive.
Has he been called?
No.
I can give him a call.
Okay. Oh, he's having tech issues. So as of now, I won't be in attendance. If I get it fixed, I'll come on late.
Okay.
So should I go ahead without him?
Yes.
We have 1 minute.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Can we see you? No.
You can't? Let's
No.
see here.
Next to the mute button, there's a video.
Yep. How's that? Now we got it.
There you are.
All right.
Somebody walked away. Oh no, everybody's here. Nope, Denny Yachty walked away.
Must have changed the channel on the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Justin cannot make it.
Okay. Oh, that's not gonna work now. Oh yeah, there we are.
Looks good. Looks good.
Please rise for a moment of silent prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America.
and to the republic,
Which stands
Just
one nation,
nation under God.
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Stevie, roll call.
Weiss,
Here.
Sleek,
Here.
Smith, Addy,
Here.
Elder,
Here.
Reese,
Here.
Leibold.
Okay, welcome to everybody to live on YouTube, Fremont City Council meeting of April 16th, 2020. Council has a copy of the minutes from the last meeting and has had a chance to review them. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Okay, then they will stand as they are. Council also has a copy of the agenda. Is there anything new to add to the agenda tonight? Okay. Before we start the agenda, I just want to make an announcement. For tonight's meeting, we will only have the readings of the ordinances and the resolutions. If council has a question regarding one of those, I would ask that they raise their hand. I will see it on the screen and I will call on you. I will also give the public the opportunity to speak if they have a comment or a question about an ordinance or a resolution that was read. I will not have committee reports or council comments tonight. We will not hear from elected officials or department heads. So with all that said, I would ask Stevie to get started with the first reading.
Second reading of an ordinance amending appropriations within General Fund 101, Street Maintenance Fund 222, SCIP Fund 461, Water Operating Fund 510, Water Reservoir Fund 542, Sewer Operating Fund 570, and declaring an emergency.
Madam President,
Yes, Paul.
as we spoke at our special council meeting a few weeks ago, this is a budget adjustment ordinance to clean up some of the budget for the court and a number of projects that we anticipated being done in 2019 that spilled over into 2020. So when we presented the budget to council in the fall, it did not include those projects for the 2020 budget because we were anticipating that being done. So these just clean up the budget for those projects carrying over, the court submitting their formal budget request for the 2020 fiscal year. And if there's any questions, I can answer them now. I would ask council to suspend Rule 4 and get this approved. I was hoping to have it approved by now anyway, but obviously we haven't been able to have our last couple regularly scheduled council meetings. So I'd ask council to suspend Rule 4 on this one.
I move to suspend Rule 4.
I second that motion.
Okay, Jim Sleek moves to suspend Rule 4. Angie Ruiz seconds. Is there any question or comment on the suspension of Rule 4? Okay, roll call.
Leek,
Yes.
Smith, oh, he's not here. Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
I move for adoption.
Nice second.
Second?
Angie Reese moves for adoption, and I believe Denny Adi seconded. Is there any questions or comments from council? Okay, are there any questions or comments from the public? And on this, we're going to wait until Ken Frost gives me the go-ahead to continue.
Madam President, I see no comments from the public.
Okay. Roll call.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek.
Yes.
Approved. Okay, you ready for the next one, Stevie?
Yep.
Okay,
First reading of an ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director to submit a written agreement to participate in the Ohio Department of Transportation's annual winter road salt contract 2021 in accordance with revised code section 5513.01B and declaring an emergency.
Madam President,
yes, sir.
this is the road salt program that we participate in every year. Allows us to purchase road salt from the state at a discounted price. I am going to have to ask that you suspend Rule 4 on this just simply because they didn't open it up until March 13th. We put in all of our paperwork and now they want everything back by April 24th. So I have to have everything back to them by April 24th. So I request suspension of Rule 4.
I move to suspend Rule 4.
I'll second.
Angie Reese moves to suspend Rule 4. John Elder seconds. Are there any questions on the suspension of Rule 4? Okay, roll call.
Addie,
Yes. Oh, there, okay. No
Elder,
questions.
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek.
Yes.
Someone needs to make a motion to adopt.
Move
Make
to
a motion
adopt.
to adopt.
I'll second it.
Angie Reese made the motion to adopt, and I'm not sure who seconded it.
Jim
Uh,
Sleek.
Jim Sleek. Okay. Are there any questions from council?
No.
Okay, we're going to go to the public. Are there any questions or comments from the public?
Madam President, I see no questions from the public.
Okay. Roll call?
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
yes,
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
yes,
Sleek,
yes,
Addie.
yes,
Approved. Okay, next reading?
First reading of an ordinance authorizing hazard pay to all OPOTA certified police officers beginning March 24th and declaring an emergency.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what this is an ordinance that was prepared by myself and Mr. Melly in Otter Draw. It's an additional benefit that we're providing for, or we'd like to provide for our frontline police officers who are out there in the middle of this pandemic that are having to deal with unknown variables on a daily basis, having to go hands-on with people on a regular basis, you know, arresting them and stuff, and really not knowing what they're getting into. We just feel it's the right thing to do to provide them an extra benefit that they can spend basically when we get through this pandemic, and give them some extra time off. What it does is it awards them for every 8-hour shift, full 8-hour shift that they work, they'll get an hour and a half worth of time, very similar to the comp time that they use now. So it won't create any overtime. And they'll be able to spend that time when they have extra people on their shifts, and they can take the day off and go do things when this is all over. I think this is pretty important that we do this for them. Mayor Sanchez, do you have anything to add to that?
No, the only thing I'd like to add is I would ask council to suspend Rule 4 and vote on this tonight.
I move to suspend Rule 4.
I'll second.
Angie Reese moves to suspend Rule 4. John Elder seconds. Are there any questions on the suspension of Rule 4? Okay, roll call?
Reese,
Yes,
Leibold,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
yes,
Sleek,
yes,
Addie,
yes,
Elder.
Yes. Move to adopt? Second.
John Elder moves to adopt. Chris Leibold seconds. Are there any questions from council?
I do have a question. Is this outright payment, or like you said, just comp time? They'll get it in comp
No,
time.
this is very similar to comp time. It's not actually comp time, but it's very similar. It's held in its own bank of time. No, it's not an actual cash payment. That's just time off.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for doing this, Ken.
Anyone else have a question?
how long will this go till?
Actually, I have a set of rules which I thought was included with the ordinance, but they are not. And it basically when this thing is over, the way I have the rules written is that I can call it when it's over. And Mr. Elder, I appreciate you saying thanks, but it wouldn't be right if I took all the credit for this. This was a collaborative effort between, the administration. It wasn't just solely my idea for sure, but it's a great idea.
Yes.
I have a question.
Hold on a second, Angie.
I'd just like to say that I think our police department, our first responders, they deserve this. And on the 4th paragraph on this ordinance, it says, beginning March 24th and ending when the pandemic has been contained.
Right. And I actually have a set of rules that go along with that. So we wanted to make it retroactive because these guys have been out on the front lines working in this stuff since it's been going on.
And I have a question on this, Ken. Is this something, like you said, you'll make a decision, but also city council, if it goes a while, we could say, hey, can we revisit that or something like that? We have that authority or that right?
We always have that authority. I mean, I've got it written up pretty. We can pretty much call it when this thing's contained. So I mean, we could call it. If the governor said everybody go back to work or whatever we see fit.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good thing.
Anyone else from council have a question? Okay, I'm gonna move to the public. If there's anyone from the public that has a question or a comment.
Madam President, I see no public comments.
Okay, thank you. Roll call?
Liebold,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Okay, approved. Next reading?
First reading of an ordinance for the Safety Service Director to enter into an agreement with the Director of Transportation of ODOT for the repair slope failure on eastbound US 6 near US 20 in the city of Fremont and declaring an emergency.
Who's gonna speak to this?
I can speak to that, Madam President.
Okay,
Basically what this is, for lack of a better term, it's a permission slip. They have some repairs that they need to make out there. And the slope is actually failing from what I understand. I haven't been out there to look at it. It's in dire need of repair. Doesn't cost the city anything. We have no obligation to do anything out there. They just need permission to repair it because it falls within our corporation limits. That's all.
okay.
I would ask that we,
Basically what this is,
I would ask it for, just for the fact that I don't know what their time frame is and I don't know how bad the slope is actually failing, and I would hate to see them shut the on-ramp down because they didn't have us pass this thing in time.
Mr. Frost, where's this located again?
On Route 6 and 20, the bypass,
Okay,
where they
gotcha.
just did all that work.
thank you.
I move to suspend Rule 4.
A second?
Angie Reese moves to suspend Rule 4. Christine Weiss seconds. Are there any questions on the suspension from Rule 4? Okay, roll call?
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Liebold.
yes.
Move to adopt.
Second.
John Elder moves to adopt. Who seconded? Chris Leibold?
Liebold.
Okay. Leibold seconds. Are there any questions, further questions from council? Okay, are there any questions from the public?
Madam President, I see no questions.
Okay, roll call?
Sleek,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss.
yes,
Approved. Okay, next reading.
First reading of a resolution authorizing the approval and issuance of a warrant for payment of $4,500.00 to Badger Meter and declaring an emergency.
Madam President?
Yes, sir.
What this is we pay a fee to Badger Meter for our new water meters. This bill got overlooked somehow. I'll take full responsibility for that. With all the changes that we've been having down in the water office. It was there. I think the money's there. I just failed to get the bill paid. It's just an oversight basically on my part. I should have relayed that to Vicky, but I'll take the hit on this one.
I move to suspend Rule 4.
I second it.
Angie Reese moves to suspend Rule 4. Jim Sleek seconds. Are there any questions from council on the suspension? Okay, roll call.
I've officially joined in.
Oh,
Addie. Denny, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes,
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
yes,
Sleek.
Yes,
I don't know if I should suggest it, and I don't think he heard it.
I am present, but I did not hear the vote.
So we won't have a vote on that one, right?
Okay, no, I do not need to vote on that.
somebody want to adopt?
I move to
Move to
adopt.
adopt.
Second.
Angie Reese moves to adopt. Chris
I'll
Leibel,
second.
second. Chris,
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I seconded. Yeah.
Chris Leibold seconds. Are there any questions or comments on this resolution from council?
Madam President, what
Yes, sir.
resolution are we voting on?
Number 5.
5. Are there any comments or questions from the public?
Madam President, I see no questions.
Okay, roll call.
Denny, can you hear me?
Yes, I didn't hear my name, but yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes,
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
yes,
Sleek.
yes,
Is Justin voting on this or?
No.
Okay, then we're done.
Okay, approved. If you're ready for the next reading, go ahead, Judy.
First reading of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute the combined general health district amended agreement and pursuant to said agreement, appointing Robert Gross and Dr. Regina Vincent Williams and declaring an emergency.
Madam President, may I talk?
Yes.
Thank you. First of all, this is the combined health district agreement that was referred to when we last had a general city council meeting. Joe Michaels brought to our attention that there was not a contract, and it had been in existence since about, I think, 1957, but it hadn't been updated and hadn't been actually formally executed in a long period of time. So the combination of myself and Beth Tischler, the Sandusky County prosecutor, as well as Clyde and the health district have been putting this contract together. And what this does is it memorializes what's already been in existence, which is the people have been on the board. In fact, there, as you noticed in the emergency clause, it says that it needs to be passed tonight because there's a board meeting tomorrow. And as we know that the pandemic is going on, I'm guessing that there's going to be issues that affect the pandemic, and it's necessary to get our members, which is Mr. Gross and Dr. Regina Vincent Williams, on the board so that they can properly vote tomorrow. So what this is an ordinance to have you as council approve it, because pursuant to the agreement, which I sent to everybody, pursuant to Councilman Leibow's request, in the revised code, it says that the mayor may appoint with the agreement of the legislative authority, as well as the mayor then can sign this with the agreement of legislative authority. So that's why it's before you tonight, and that's what it means.
Yes, Chris.
Just to the law director. Now, Jim, you mentioned that you might be coming back again with another ordinance if the contract changes in
Not the
between our
contract
conversations.
Not the contract changing, but what it might do is, since we don't know what the terms of the years are, we know it's for 5 years, but we don't know when formally it really began because there was no other addendum or no contract to this agreement. Then we're going to potentially, once we find out what those staggered terms are, bring something back that would say the term began on such and such a date and would continue through such and such a date. But with the essence being that it had to be done by tomorrow for them to vote, we didn't have the time to do that because we haven't yet formalized the agreement.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question. Is that,
Wait a minute. John Elder?
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. If you could answer. And Mr. Frost, Bob and Regina, what's the credentials that they have to be on the health board? Could you explain why you chose those two?
Yes, I chose Dr. Williams because she's very involved in the community. She is very connected to the minority population inside the city of Fremont in the community. And I think it's important to have diversity on the board. And then with Bob Gross, I think it's important to have someone who is working under my administration that is directly involved as issues arise at the health department. I have someone on the health department board that can relay those issues directly back to me.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one question, if I may.
Okay.
The mayor has always been able to appoint 2 individuals, correct? Since the beginning of this contract that began in 1957, has the mayor of the city always been able to appoint 2 individuals?
I'll answer that. The answer is it's contained within the statute in 370904, which establishes that with this health district, it's the mayor's to appoint the 2 for the city of Fremont. And then that has to be blessed by the legislative authority, Justin.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does this also give the mayor flexibility? Let's say if one of the members he appoints is just not working out, or they have to move on, he does have flexibility in this to appoint at any time, or is there some restrictions to that?
It doesn't say anything like that anywhere in the revised code. It doesn't say anything like that in the agreement. So much like any other board, if it's working out, you just ask them or you have a discussion about it, and he can appoint somebody else. We would probably bring another ordinance with the new name then to council.
All right, thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Yes, Chris.
Thank you, Madam President. I guess it's really just more of a comment. I really understand appointing Dr. Williams to the board, but I think representatives for the city of Fremont should actually live in the city of Fremont. And so I understand the nature of getting this done, and we have a pandemic and the health board needs to have the legitimacy to act. But it's my personal preference that our representatives live in the city limits.
Thank you for your comment, Councilman Leibold.
Anyone else? Is anybody going to make a motion to suspend Rule 4?
I move we suspend Rule 4.
Okay. Denny Yadi moves to suspend Rule 4. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Christine seconds. Are there any other questions on the suspension of Rule 4? Okay, roll call.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Addie.
Yes.
Someone needs to make a motion to
Move
adopt.
to adopt.
I second.
John Elder moves to adopt. I believe that was Denny Yadi that seconds. Are there any more questions from council or comments? Are there any questions or comments from the public?
Madam President,
Yes.
and everybody here, just really quick, while I'm waiting to see if we get any comments. When I'm in the meeting, everybody just hang tight and don't do anything. When I stop going live, I need to shut it down a certain way, so just hang tight until I tell you to escape, okay?
Okay,
I see no public comments.
okay. Roll call.
Reese,
Yes.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Okay, that's approved. That's the end of our readings. Yes,
Can I
sir.
ask a question, Jamie, before, or
Sure.
Madam President? Can I ask
Yeah.
real quick? I've had, Mayor Sanchez, I've had a couple comments asked of me in public about, do we know how many of our local businesses are basically, I wouldn't say closed, but shut down due to the virus? And are we providing assistance to those businesses to help them get some relief through our office? Like, since the library's closed, you can't access the internet and so on. Can you give us any information that I can pass along to our public?
I don't know the number of businesses that are actually closed. I'm not sure if Bob Gross knows that answer or not. Basically, every business that is non-essential, according to the order of Governor DeWine, is closed, as we know. As far as assistance to the small businesses, I've talked to many other communities and other mayors. There are some cities that have some dollars that they allow small businesses to apply for, for grants through their cities or municipalities. Typically, those are larger cities or cities that have, a larger income tax base coming in. The only resources that we really have at this time are the resources that the state and the federal government are putting out for the businesses. And Bob's trying to work with, and I know has worked with, several small businesses to assist them in applying for some of those funds. And then some of those loans that they do have out, some of them are, although they're loans, they do not have to repay back as long as they're used for, what's required, requirements, such as paying their employees and things like that. But Bob Gross is the one who would be able to answer that question specifically about maybe how many businesses.
Yeah, I just was wondering with everything that's going on and the difficulty in trying to reach people because offices aren't fully staffed and things like that. You know, I just wondered if the city provided some assistance, you know, maybe the auditor's office or somebody provide assistance to the local businesses that maybe don't have easy a time to navigate through the different media sources. But
Yeah,
thank you.
although the office is closed, I mean, well, I wouldn't say closed, the staff has been reduced. Our administration has been readily available.
Okay.
I know myself, Ken and Nikki and Amanda and even Bob, you know, I've taken calls all week. It's just tough, as you know, and I think we all know I wish we had some more resources here locally. And I don't, Paul and Bob Grohl spoke yesterday in reference to, what we could do as far as what financial assistance the city could do. And, obviously we have to anticipate, an income tax loss here coming up after all this is done. Now that these businesses close, we're going to see the impact. It's not going to be today or tomorrow, but it's going to be, sometime down the road when we really see, with the jobs and people not working, how it affects our overall dollar as well from the city standpoint.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else have a comment before we end? No? I would ask someone. Oh, okay. Chris Leibold makes a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Jim Sleek seconds. Roll call.
Leibold,
Yes.
Weiss,
She's muted.
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Addy,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
We're adjourned.
Good job, Ken.
All right, hang tight, hang tight.